They say money can't buy you happiness, but money can buy you a Ferrari. And within the first 25 minutes of me driving the Ferrari F8 Tributo, it made me happy as hell. It's not a shit-eating grin on your face kind of happy. It's a euphoric, sublime happiness. Like you doubted your faith in God for years until you saw an angel with your own eyes. And everything you ever questioned about life was answered in that moment. I don't know if this is the case with all Ferraris, but that's definitely what I felt driving the F8 Tributo. It looks very similar to the 488 it replaced, but where the 488 was admittedly a very nice looking car, the F8 almost takes your breath away. I say almost because I'm not a fan of red cars. But of course, if there was a car that could pull it off, it's the Ferrari F8 Tributo. The lines on the F8 are very aquatic, almost as if they designed it by continuously pouring water on the parts of the car for years until the water eventually carved out the lines of the car. At the same time, the front end of the car reminds me of a serpent, and it's just as mesmerizing to look at as it is to see a cobra stand at attention. If there was one word to describe the interior of the F8, it's cavernous. It literally feels like you're sitting in a cave, but a very pretty and comfortable cave with leather and carbon fiber everywhere. Initially, it felt odd, like there's literally something missing. And for me, there was. Well, it wasn't exactly missing, it was just really low. And I'm talking about the center rest. It's just too damn low. I don't know what to do with my right elbow while I'm driving, and it drives me insane. Or at least it did. Because as I continued driving the F8, I just accepted it. And once I did, then I was able to see the sheer brilliance of this interior. Every modern creature comfort you want is here, but it's as if Ferrari really didn't want to give them to you, because it would distract you from the awesomeness of how this car drives. The infotainment screen is relegated to a small 7-inch screen that flanks your tachometer. This is controlled by a small module cluster on the upper right portion of the dash. The F8 steering wheel is an acne breakout of buttons. Even the turning indicators are on the face of the steering wheel. The car's driving modes are on the steering wheel, along with the suspension settings, your wiper blades, your phone, you name it, it's all on the steering wheel. There is a learning curve, but once you learn it, you realize how simple and more efficient it is. The steering wheel quickly became my favorite point of interaction because pushing the buttons when you need to is so damn satisfying. The turning indicators feel like soft touch keyboard keys. Changing the drive setting switch is nostalgically mechanical, and the paddles, oh my goodness, do I love the paddles. They're long and big and satisfyingly cool to the touch, and yes, I spent 20 minutes trying to find a way to describe these paddles without making them sound phallic, but apparently I've reached the limitations of my vocabulary. With a turbocharged V8 pushing 710 horsepower, yeah, the F8 is fast, and likely faster than any car on the street. I think everyone knows this, but it's how the F8 goes fast that makes you fall in love. The F8 treats the line between a GT car and a sports car like a parking ticket in a city you never plan to come back to. When you want it to be, it's so docile, comfortable, and well behaved. It's almost boring. For crying out loud, it has a bumpy road suspension setting. It's damn near boring in the most exhilarating way possible because you're driving an F8. But put this thing in track mode, start playing grab ass with the paddles, and this car becomes one of the most spectacular displays of street performance I have ever had the pleasure of driving. As I downshift on the paddles and put my foot down, and the hips of the car gyrate just a little, right before catapulting you back into the future. As the rev lights on the steering wheel light up telling you to shift, and that beautifully serene exhaust note singing away, you really do feel like you're in a time machine instead of a car. The car took 10 years off of my age. I was 26 again, looking for that thrill, and I found it. This is what a supercar is supposed to feel like. I just wanted to keep driving it. However, at no point did I want to drive the car on the track though. I wasn't interested in finding out what this car was like at the limit. That's what the Pista is for. The F8 is my automotive stripper. In the real world, it's strip club. The F8 teases me to break the rules of the world, and I get close and maybe step over the line for a second or two, but I never go all in. Because of this, I never really see what the F8 is truly capable of, and I like that because the mystique of never knowing adds to the allure of the F8. Driving it on a track would expose those limits to me, even if those limits were exceedingly high. The F8 makes me want to keep chasing the dragon, hoping I never actually catch it. It's easy to think anyone buying a car like the Ferrari F8 Tributo is just an attention whore who needs their ego stroked at each stoplight. And I'm sure some of those people exist. But in reality, I found myself almost annoyed by the attention. The same way I'm annoyed when my turn-by-turn navigation keeps interrupting my music to give me the turn-by-turn directions I asked it to give me. No matter what, you're asking for attention driving an F8. But the experience is so good. All the pictures, the people asking questions, the race challenges, etc. are a small price to pay to experience what was one of the best short, long-term car experiences I've ever had.
Jason Derulo.
Right now, there's a culture war against the Second Amendment, which is why I need your help spreading our message to counter their message. You can help do this by leaving a comment, sharing this video, and clicking the bell and subscribe button. Let my voice be your voice, and let them know you want to keep America tactical, because the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed wasn't a suggestion, it was a directive. Also, if you're wondering where to purchase your AR-15s are essential, I will not comply. I am the militia. I lost all my guns in a boating accident, and your state-specific Keep America Tactical shirt, click the link next to my head or the link in the description section, or if you're watching this on a mobile device, tap the small triangle on the lower right-hand side of this video and click the link in the description.